their senses what they say. That's what people want. That's what people like. But this seems like knowledge. This Upanishad is said. Avidya also looks like Vidya. People are too much involved in that. So, but how to make it very clear? That has been made very soundly presented by Vinod Thakur. Can you get the backward magazine? English. In a very short, brief way, Prabhupada has captured the entire Guru Parampara's philosophy in 6 points. But the expression of each particular Acharya is different. Like Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, their expression is in bhajan.
That's Mool Tattva also. That's Mool Tattva.
Right. It's called Amnaya Praha, Harimaya Paravam, Sarva Shakti Vishwadim, Binna Samchativan, Prakritik Malikan, Muktanstavama, Veda Veda Prakasam, Sakaram Api Hare, Sadhanam Shuddha Bhakti, Sadhyam Satvik Priti, Neva Pradishtati, Chaitanya Chandra Swayamsa. Amnaya Praha means Vedic knowledge. So this is their Dasamadaya. So can you read this bottom text only? So use this mic if you want to read it. Those 6 points. The entire Parampara's presentation, Prabhupada has brought it out in 6 points, beautiful points, very simple points. It comes in every issue of reading. Read it.
Our purpose is to help all people discern reality from illusion, spirit from matter, the eternal from the temporary, to expose the faults of the materialism.
You say point 1, then you say point 2, like that. Read from the beginning, slowly.
Point 1, to help all people discern reality from illusion, spirit from matter, the eternal from the temporary. Point 2, to expose the faults of materialism. Point 3, to offer guidance in the Vedic techniques of spiritual life. Point 4, to preserve and spread the Vedic culture. Point 5, to celebrate the chanting of the holy names of God as taught by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Point 6, to help every living being remember and serve Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God.
So people are not attracted to this automatically. Those 6 points mentioned. People are not attracted to this automatically. So you have to make some devices in which they can get attracted. So Prabhupada built a Jew temple, not a Raspberry temple. He said, people think about India as a poor country, but I'm going to build a marble palace so that I can bring the Westerners and then teach them Vedic knowledge. The Jew temple, he said, I'm building this for the foreigners to come and live here in their own way, not in a way. Generally they think Indians are, not so developed country and poor. Purpose, I'm going to build this temple only for them, so that they can live comfortably and understand the Vedic knowledge. So that means you have to make it attractive for others. That's the whole purpose of our, how to propagate Krishna consciousness. Siddhanta is there. Siddhanta there in the books. But for other people have to give their life to understand the Siddhanta. But we have to propagate the Siddhanta. How to propagate that? Like this morning we all went Nagar Kirtan. Of course we may not know immediately what effect it will have. But like yesterday Prabhupada was saying, where you people have gone, we don't see you on the streets anymore. Like that. So propaganda is important. Prabhupada said, we need Siddhanta, we need propaganda. So Siddhanta part, the Parampara is taking care. The propaganda part, ISKCON society is taking care. And we need both. We need Siddhanta and propaganda. So once it so happened, a newspaper report came that some devotees in Japan were arrested by the police. Some devotees in Japan were arrested by Japanese police. That came in the Indian newspaper. So one guest who met Prabhupada, he said, I just read that your devotees in Japan, they got arrested by Japanese police. So he was trying to find some fault. So Prabhupada said, that's okay. But what do you have in Japan? At least our devotees were there doing something and police arrested them. But do you have anything happening in Japan? Meaning, if you are doing something, well, those people accept or not, that's it. Same thing. When this movie came, Ramaro Dam Vida Jayega, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. So people went to Prabhupada and said, why they are, connecting us with this, drug people in the hippie group, Dammorodam. Said, don't worry, any propaganda is good. They will forget Dammorodam and only chant Hare Krishna Ram. They only chant Hare Krishna Hare Ram. So Prabhupada was not afraid of bad publicity. He said, any publicity of Krishna is good. So in the East Village, in America, the Swami, there's a big, about Prabhupada's arrival in America, then Rath Yatra in America. So many things helped us to propagate. In the music world, there is something called top 10 records. In America, people buy, albums, record albums. It's very famous. Nowadays, everything is on mobile and everything, but in those days, you have to buy it. You have to buy the records. So they used to have a weekly chart, monthly chart, which song is on top 10. That means which sells most. So somebody walked into Prabhupada's home and offered to make a record of Prabhupada's singing. So that record Beatles heard. And that record became so popular and Beatles heard. Later on they offered to make more records. So in those days there's no WhatsApp, there's no Facebook. So this is the only way to spread. So the Hare Krishna chanting spread all over Europe. Just by that, Prabhupada's record. Somebody walked in and said, I'll record it for you. Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada was very quick. He was very quick to understand the modern world how it works. So he picked up and then record became, and then the group was invited to so many places. After Beatles came in, then it became really. Then most wonderful thing is, Prabhupada started printing, normally, especially Indians. They say, why your books are so expensive? See this Bhagavad Gita, it is so cheap. But they buy monthly magazine, India Today, Caravan. Those things cost just for 1 week, it costs 50 rupees, 60 rupees. Just 1 week, 1 week magazine. The Prabhupada said, why, when Krishna is the proprietor of everything, why is Bhagavad Gita should sell cheap? He's a proprietor of everything you buy. Once what happened, there was a TV interview. So I happened to be there in Bombay, they called people to go there, so I went there. So the person was leading the group, he could not speak Hindi. So in the TV interviewer said, we are broadcasting in Hindi. So if anybody can speak Hindi, they can come out. So then they asked me to speak and I spoke. They asked me questions. So one question was, why are you spending so much money and making marble temples? Why are you doing that? So I said, to make bricks, you need labor. You have to take the miti, you have to water, the firewood, you have to do and then burn it and then you get bricks. I said, to make marble, there's no human labor needed. Nobody makes marble, no human hand is marble. I said, marble is made by Krishna. And this marble should be only reserved for ISKCON. Nobody should buy marble. Because it's made by Krishna, it should be only used for Krishna. And people say that. Because Krishna makes marble, no, it's not made by human being. So why are you taking Krishna's property? It's very clear, marbles belong to Krishna because it's comfortable. Like gold also, silver also. So it should not be used by any other, any club or any bank or any office. No marble should be allowed to be used by them. It's only meant for Krishna. So Prabhupada wanted to glorify Krishna. He wanted, you see, the paper comes out of the trees. So who makes the trees? Everything comes out of Krishna. Isavashim comes out, everything is Krishna. So the Acharyas have given us the perfect Siddhanta. Amazing Siddhanta in so many different manners. So many different manners they have presented the Siddhanta. Our job is propaganda. That is why Prithvitiya Chaitanya Nagaravigram Sarvatra Prachara Vaimana. Jaretiko Tareko Krishna. we should wholeheartedly engage in propaganda. Like this Rath Yatra coming, Janmashtami coming, all the festivals. So our job is taking the message across. Propaganda is our job. So whatever way we can do it, we should propagate this message. Because there are so many people who are innocent, they are not aware the human life is an opportunity to go back home, back to God. They don't know. They are waiting for that message. They don't know that. And why people in India should not be coming faster than anybody else. Actually, he said, there's a saying, whatever Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. There's a saying like that. And whatever India thinks today, the world thinks tomorrow. Right? So, Mahaprabhu's mission is not fully embraced even in Bengal. There's so many bogus competitors for Mahaprabhu. In Bengal also, Apasampradaya. There are 16 Apasampradayas. Now there may be more also. There used to be 16, now there will be more Apasampradaya. So you have to compete with these Apasampradayas and present the proper Sampradaya. That is our duty. Presenting proper Sampradaya is our duty. Whatever we appreciate, it should be shown in our propaganda. So that is why Prabhupada established BBT. So many things Prabhupada started. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj had this dioramas. You heard about the dioramas? Which are the clay models, That is, Prabhupada first had it in Mayapur. He had it first in Mayapur. And Prabhupada brought all the ISKCON temple pictures, deity pictures and the temple pictures. In Mayapur, there's a long building, and below that there's a big corridor. There's also some rooms out there. The corridor had a small wall. I've seen it when I went for first time in Mayapur. I saw all around the world. Nowadays they have the Delhi temple. When you go for Parikrama, you can see the Delhi temple. In the Parikrama, they've got big size pictures of all. Very amazing to look at those amazing pictures of those deities. So in Mayapur also the long building, but now they don't have. They used to have photographs of all. So propaganda is as much important as Siddhanta. Both are needed to do that. So these songs are, of course, wonderful songs, but how many people are giving time to read those songs? So we have to bring their attention, we have to bring their time and everything. So that's it. So they have done their job, the acharyas have done their job. We have to do our job of propagating it. Of course, we are doing it in all our temples, but it should go out. If Bhaktivedanta Maharaj can come out of Mayapur, then Gaurushat Babaji told him, don't go to Maya Nagari, Calcutta. What? He said three things to him. He said three things to him. Don't go to this Maya Nagari, Calcutta. And later on it is said, Bhaktivedanta was never in Calcutta because he was in transcendental consciousness, preaching and propagating. So Calcutta was never like that. So like that, two other things also is mentioned. Now we recently celebrated the 100th year of meeting of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Wonderfully they have developed that place. Very good. It's a very important milestone. Whoever happens to come to Mayapur or Calcutta, will visit that place. So it's a wonderful thing to do like that. So like we had recently, 10 days ago, we had a big palace ground program. So amazing, such a wonderful program it is. It reminded me of the days of, Prabhupada gave lectures in Bombay. The modern civilization is a failure. What a wonderful topic. Modern civilization is a failure. If you have a topic like that, for 7 days he spoke on that. Very strong propaganda. Very strong propaganda. So, we should use the modern technology and modern facilities to defeat modern culture. But we should use all their technology, all their knowledge to defeat this modern bogus culture. We should use that in Krishna's service. That's our job. That will please all the acharyas, especially it will please Prabhupada. Prabhupada can move people from one continent to another continent. He brought people to Bombay to build a Jew temple. Amazing temple. Wonderful temple. No one has ever built like that. Of course, people build temple in Vrindavan also, but they call it Birla Mandir. What does it mean? It's a glorification of Birla. Whereas these Raspberries temples, we have to glorify the original owner, not duplicate owners. The original owner is Krishna. So I'll be very happy if this temple can do as much as possible. We have many temples. Recently I was in, some of you were also there. You are in that New Rajapur temple. So you should visit the temple, New Rajapur. You know about that? Wonderful. Very nice. Huh? And another temple is also there in Nagarbavi. That is very simple, very elegant, very modern, and very simple altar. That also is very nice. That also is very nice, equally nice. One is very, very opulent, and one is very, very elegant. Both are there. Both the temples are there. Nice. There are many temples. Narasimha temple is there. And many temples are there. So it's really coming up very fast, very nicely like that. So propaganda is also happening very nicely. So, but not enough to reach everybody. You see, there are so many communities from other states of India in Bangalore. So many communities have come. People of other state, other communities, other states, they come to Bangalore. So recently, this morning, I was in one place where there was a get-together. They say just the Rajasthani community in Bangalore is not less than 10 lakhs. 10 lakh people from Rajasthan and Bangalore, not less than that. How many people we are reaching? And they are waiting. They are ready to accept it. They are waiting to take it. How many people we are reaching? Like that, so many communities, Tamils, so many Tamils are there, so many Telugus are there, so many Keralites are there, so many people. So the propaganda has to be thorough. It's called carpet bombing. What is called in military terms? In the military, there's a term called carpet bombing. Carpet bombing means you don't leave 1 inch, in every inch you bomb it. It's called carpet bombing. Right? So wonderful propaganda has also taken place. There's nothing short about that. That has happened. But you see, Bhutva Praliyate, the old generation going, the new generation is coming. So the new generation people also has to be approached. They also are a big problem. And so many youngsters are coming to Bangalore for job. So many students are coming to Bangalore to study every year. So that's all new people coming in. Lakhs and lakhs are coming. So Bangalore is a wonderful place. Like in those days, Calcutta was considered to be the topmost place for preaching to the public. We can say Bangalore is also one of the topmost places for preaching and propaganda. We are doing a little bit. We are starting some school preaching and some this and that. But we should be able to attract, especially the management. We should be able to attract and they should help us to get this kind of. I think the Bogai's offering is over. We can get ready for responsibility. So, if time permits, we have at least one bhajan of Vinod Thakur. Possible to have it as time permits. Anything else? At least we can read one bhajan, even if we don't sing it. Prabhu, you choose one bhajan, you just read it.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Thakur, Vane Thakur, Sada Hari Bole Thakur. Sukhe Dukhe Bola Rakho. कोई गाना वाला होना चाहिए गाना हमको नहीं आता भजन कौन गाएगा गाए गोरा मधुर सुर माया जाले बदर होए आजो नीचे काजर होए एको ना चेतना पाए राधा माधव नाम बोले जीवन होइलो शेष ना बजिलो ऋषिकेश भक्ति विनोद गाए एक बार नाम रसे मातुरी ये गाया बहुत बढ़िया
श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय।